Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our second live stream of today. This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. We are in the Beechcraft King Air 350i. We are going from Dresden to Mannheim City. We are following this route about an hour and a half flying time. We're not going to change the weather. We're going to leave it as is, and hopefully we have a nice, relaxing flight. Don't anticipate any problems, but you never know. Anyway, all right, let's get ready to go. We will be airborne momentarily.
Dresden Tower Frog 237 ready for IFR departure runway 22.
Frog 237 altimeter 29.907 wind 187 at 8. Cleared for takeoff runway 22.
Cleared for takeoff runway 22 Frog 237.
So we have to do a few things before we get off the ground.
Oral warning, okay.
So we need to go, need to dial in 14,000 feet, first off. That is our initial altitude that they have given us. And we need to dial in the correct barometric pressure, which is 29.907. We're going to dial that in right here. Need to make sure that is correct. That's one more thing that we are going to have to keep an eye on while we're flying. We want to make sure we keep our correct barometric pressure. Break off. Just have a quick look around. The flaps are set. All right. Let's get airborne. The recycling folks are here to pick up the recycle stuff. You may hear some noise in the background. I apologize about that. Let's get the autopilot on. Nav. Flight director is on. And away we go.
Frog 237 contact Berlin Center on 125.8. Good day.
125.8 Frog 237. Berlin Center Frog 237 is at 1,400 feet, climbing 14,000 feet.
Frog 237 Berlin Center altimeter 29.907 continue to Delta Romeo November as planned.
Delta Romeo November. That is our next marker there, just under 7 nautical miles. It's the one right there ahead of us. And I must have scared everybody off or something. Nobody's here. Okay. Here's what it is. Now, for those who don't know, I'll just go ahead and say this. And people watch this on the replay later on, they'll know. So, excuse me. So Mannheim, I think it still is. I don't know because there's not much of a. There's still some military presence in Germany, not nearly the level it was long time ago. But Mannheim was the military prison location for U.S. Army Europe. Meaning that if you got convicted of any crimes, you weren't sent back to the States, you were sent to the military prison there in Mannheim. Some soldiers in my organization, my unit in Germany, were convicted of, I think they were basically beating up German nationals, stealing from them. They had been doing it for some time, and it took, I guess, some time before somebody figured out what was going on, and so they decided to, or they got caught and were convicted and sent to Mannheim. So that is, I think it's still the military prison there for the remaining organizations there in Germany from the United States Army or the military in general. I think even for Air Force personnel stationed, I think if they get convicted of something, they would go to Mannheim as well. Yeah, so. I also have somewhat of a personal connection to Mannheim in that when I was in Germany, we did what they call a barracks morale trip. Basically, it's for the single soldiers. They take, they get some, not that they were like chartered, but you would get like a bus, and you would get a bunch of the single people together on the bus. And I think we did one, we went to Munich. We did, I think a couple times we went to Nuremberg, the walled city, Nuremberg. And then we did one we did twice. There's and I don't know if it's still in operation, amusement park near Mannheim. The first time we went, we had a great time. The second time I was riding with a friend of mine in his car, and the bus driver had taken an off-ramp way too quickly, and the bus tipped over on its side. And so we got out, ran, because we were behind the bus, so we pulled over, helped people out. I stayed with one of the guys until he was airlifted out of there to a local hospital. But they had to land, like the Autobahn that they were getting ready to merge onto, which was still, we were still on the off ramp, going on to, as you come onto the next part of the Autobahn there. They had to shut that down. They landed the helicopter right there on the Autobahn and airlifted him to a local hospital. But yeah, it was a crazy day. You know, a lot of people were, some people were just kind of bruised up, other people were, I guess in a way, seriously injured enough that they had to go to the hospital. But yeah. Mannheim, it's one of those areas I wish I had, you know, spent more time around. I'm sure it's a very interesting area. I remember I don't remember the name of the amusement park though. I'd have to look it up. But it had like a water, kind of like, you had like a circular sort of little rubber boat kind of thing, and you it was like you were riding the rapids kind of thing. So yeah, we had a lot of fun there. I think that was way before Euro Disney was even a thing. So that was the closest thing I guess we could have to Disneyland or Disney World. So. Alright, a little bit cloudy. Doesn't look like we're going to have to worry about rain though or anything, but that could possibly change. Now the other day I was doing a flight.
Transavia Flight 235, contact Fox Center on 118.375.
It was in this plane, and I think the weather changed where we started to get like thunderstorms, and I didn't get an altimeter reading, so as I was coming into approach, I was way above the approach line. I had to basically fly it in manually. I was able to do it, but it was a pain in the butt, not gonna lie. If I hadn't been paying attention, I would have. It would have been a mess. So they didn't give me an updated as we went into approach either, or maybe they did. I just didn't hear it. So anyway. So Mannheim City, 193 nautical miles. We still got some flying to go. Above the clouds. Not been bumpy so far. Maybe a little bit when we took off, but nothing too severe. Looks like some different layers of clouds ahead of us there. Some a little bit lower, some over there seem to be a lot higher. So hopefully we won't have any super major issues. I kind of feel like we're going to go up even higher here pretty soon. I feel like it's like we've been kind of climbing this entire time since we took off. We're just getting close to reaching 14,000 feet, but I feel like we're going to get... It probably just tells us to go to 22,000. Outside, 24 degrees Fahrenheit.
Berlin Center, Turkish 7730 is at flight level 340, descending 10,000 feet.
Oh, a little bump there.
Turkish 7730, Berlin Center, continue as planned. Fog 237, climb and maintain flight
there we go.
level 220.
I guessed it correctly.
Climb and maintain flight level 220, Frog 237.
So they basically rounded it up. It says 21,750, but they just put 22,000 I mean, we could be at 21,700 and we'd be fine. But I think they just rather round it up and go, say, 22,000. So I think I'm going to have to basically manually tell the vertical speed. There we go. I think by getting up to at least 22,000, that if we have a bit of choppy air, we're going to be above it. So I think we'll be okay if the weather starts to go a little crazy on us. So I'm kind of thinking ahead for Monday, since we're flying around New York tomorrow and we're flying around London on Sunday. Monday, when we come back to Germany, what I want to try to do is we're going to go from Mannheim. We're going to continue on with this leg, of our flight around Germany on Monday, but also. As a bonus, we'll probably do a short flight from Mannheim to somewhere. I'm going to try to make it a fairly straightforward, no-frills flight also. So that on Monday, when we do that, we're going to have... we're going to do a bit of a fun flight on Monday to around Heilbronn. So we're going to do that. I'm going to put that on just to be on the safe side. The de-ice on the propellers. I don't think we have to worry about it, but the temperature is starting to drop as we get closer to 22,000 feet. So I'm just going to go ahead and get that set up. So this is a very quiet stream. I was not expecting that. That's okay. So yeah, we're gonna take off. There's small airports. We're gonna take off like in a small plane. Try to stay kind of low. We're just gonna circle around Heilbronn and point out some things. It's certainly from an aerial perspective. And I think years ago I found Heilbronn. It's changed even since the first time I found it on Google Earth. So yeah, we'll talk about some of those changes, some things that stand out for me personally, and should be a nice little fun additional flight that we'll do. So yeah, we'll do that on Monday as well. Somebody just popped in. Could it be Mick? Could it be Amela? Who could it be? Who could it be now? Do 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 do. Uh-oh. Says no data. Interesting. Okay, there it goes. A little hiccup in the stream.
On 237, contact Prague Center on 118.375. Good day.
118.375 Prague 237.
Prague.
Prague Center Prague 237 is at flight level 210, climbing flight level 220.
Prague 237, Prague Center, continue as planned.
Nice fluffy clouds.
Turkish 1971
They
contact
almost
center on
look like,
127.6.
and I could be wrong,
Good day.
but there could be a little bit of rain in those clouds, but it's kind of hard to tell because they seem kind of thin.
127.6.
So the cloud, the color of the clouds might
Frog
be a bit
237
misleading.
contact Berlin Center on 125.8. Good day.
125.8 Frog
Okay,
237.
I guess they didn't want
Berlin
to.
Center Frog 237.
Prague didn't want us
flight
on
level
the radio
220.
for very long.
Frog 237 Berlin Center, continue as planned.
All right, so kind of looking ahead here, we've got 60, let's say 60 nautical miles, roughly, until we get to our marker, which is called Anela, A-N-E-L-A. And then we will have essentially roughly 100 nautical miles, I think, to get to Mannheim. So we should start as soon as we pass Anela. We should start seeing our reductions in altitude. The next marker after the one there at 21,750 feet, we should start to see our first lower altitude.
Alpine flight 884 is passing flight level 3, 60 descending 3,800 feet.
So
Alpine Flight Main 84 Berlin Center, continue as planned.
we should have a nice managed descent into Mannheim. Now, there's no ILS approach, but I did pick the localizer approach. So once we get to that marker, it should be almost, if I remember the flight plan correctly, it should be almost a straight shot right into Mannheim City. There shouldn't be much deviating and turning around and all that kind of stuff that we normally see with some of our approaches, where we go past the airport and then we do a lazy left or right hand turn. So it should be a pretty straightforward.
Frog 237 contact Prague Center on 118.375.
Now we're talking to Prague again.
Good day.
I guess Berlin and Prague, it's like, oh, we're going to bounce the
Going
frog
to
back and forth.
118.375
You
Frog
talk to him for a
237.
minute. No, you talk to him for a minute.
Prague Center Frog 237 flight level 220.
Frog 237 Prague Center, continue as planned.
Yep, that's what I figured. Any minute now. Go contact Berlin Center on. Maybe it'd be something else. Who knows? Maybe we'll stick with Prague on the way into Mannheim, and then we'll get transferred over to the tower there at Mannheim.
Frog 237 contact center on 127.6. Good day.
Nope.
127.6 Frog 237. Center Frog 237 flight level 220.
Frog 237 center, continue as planned.
Frankfurt. Wow, Frankfurt Center. I feel so honored to be talking to Frankfurt. Now, interestingly enough, we didn't get any kind of altimeter update. I would think, because we do have the live weather on, that would be something that would be said in whatever center we're talking to. They would give us an altimeter update to make sure that we stay at our correct altitude with the correct barometric pressure. So we are flying slightly off of the path there. Although on here it says we are at 230 We are on the path, but if we look at the here, it doesn't seem like we are, because normally we're right on that track. Interesting. We're almost at Manila, so we will be I think we will start to see some reductions in altitude here soon. We will make our plan, despite what one of the things I need to start doing is I need to look at the flight plan before we fly and look at, so that, you know, like, what is the marker beyond Anella and what is the altitude, you know, like, so I can kind of plan ahead before we even see the marker beyond Anella and say, okay, I can start either, if it's a short distance possibly between those markers, I can start making my descent plan a little bit ahead of time, so that when, you know, it helps manage the descent into the airport. I need to get a little bit better at that. I should probably buy like a cheap notebook that I can write all this stuff down in, so notes that I can refer to. So, anywho,
Center Sun Express 756 is at flight level 380, descending 10,000 feet. Sun Express 756 Center, continue as planned.
well, while we have a moment, I am going to step away. Thank you for the one like.
Ryanair 5616, contact Prague Center on
Be right back.
118.375. Good day. .375 Ryanair 5616. Finnair 1672, contact Berlin Center on 125.8. Good day.
.8 for Finnair 1672.
Here I am. I was muted still. Anyway, yes, I see you're here, Nick. I appreciate that. I was beginning to suspect that after the incident earlier on Train Symbol 2 that people were kind of like, yeah, I'm going to steer clear of his stream for today. So, yeah. So yeah, we should start managing our descent into Mannheim City here in a moment. Got these kind of puffy clouds. No major weather has hit us. We had a little bit of a bump getting to 22,000 feet, but generally it's been a fairly smooth flight otherwise. We had 8-knot winds when we took off out of Dresden, but it was a pretty smooth takeoff. We didn't have any real major issues. So I'm just waiting to see what things are going to look like beyond this marker here, Anella. And as soon as we get there, then I think we'll start to see our start getting our descent plan together, and then we'll be on the ground. So yeah, earlier, Vic, I was saying, and I'll save you the trouble of watching the takeoff and all that on the replay. On Monday, so tomorrow, of course, we're flying around New York. Sunday, we're doing London. Monday, we are going to do another flight. We're going to do from Mannheim City, maybe somewhere kind of short distance away. Nothing, maybe we're going to try to keep it under an hour, because once we do that, I'm going to do a flight around Heilbronn, Germany, where I was stationed at years ago, and kind of talk about the city, and point out some highlights and stuff like that. It shouldn't be very long. So yeah, we'll do that on Monday as a bonus sort of thing. Alright, any moment now we'll see our next marker. So that 112 should be about just under about 110, 108 or so pretty soon. We should start getting prepared for that distance is going to go fairly quickly.
On 237, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Why would I go up another 3,000
feet?
feet?
Maintain flight level 250, frog 237.
That doesn't make any sense. What's our next marker look like? That's a rather... At the tail end of our flight, it's a rather weird request. 18,700. Okay, yeah, I'm not going up to 25,000. No, I'm trying to manage my... Matter of fact, I need to get down to 18,700 because, yeah, no, I'm going to manage my descent. Instead, I am not going up 3,000 feet. Sorry, but no. That doesn't seem very reasonable as we're getting ready to go into our landing pattern and all that. And now I wonder, because I've seen some posts in the forums that
please expedite your climb flight level 250.
They call out these kind of crazy requests when you have the weather activated. So I'm wondering if it's just a big hiccup in their software or something. That it thinks that we have way more time in the air than we really do. Like if we had another hour or two to go, I would think that we would certainly climb to 25,000 feet. But we are we are looking to land.
Frog 237, please expedite your climb flight level 250.
That doesn't seem like a very realistic request at this point in our flight. Oh, I don't know anymore. Alright. So let's see, we are nearing our, yeah, almost at that point. Uh, 16,600. Let's get down there. All right. Mick, I think you might need a Mela here. It might get a little bumpy on the coming into Mannheim City. You might need to hold a Mela's hand.
Frog 237,
Either that
please
or-
expedite your climb flight level 250.
Either that or you're going to have to get Bex in here. Hold Bex's hand. Or maybe both. I don't know. This doesn't make any sense. Why would we go up? That's the one thing that perplexes me about this simulator game, whatever you want to call it. Like if 25,000 feet would have made much more sense. Just as we were approaching, getting close to 21,000, they could have said, go to 25,000 now. And then, you know, we still would be having to manage, although now the situation would be we would be coming from a much higher altitude and trying to get, you know, below, you know, keep stepping down in our altitude so that we can land in a reasonable amount of time. 11,850, so 11,800. That is a Kitzingen, I know that area. Kitzingen Army Airfield. I've never been to that airfield, but I know Kitzingen. You know, much like California, I feel like in one way or another, I've been seemingly all over Germany. Either by going through an area or going to some place for training of some kind. Yeah, it's crazy. The names that just kind of jump out that I haven't thought of in quite some time. Okay, that looks like rain below. No, that could be, I could be wrong. But I feel like we're getting ready to get into the rain. So, Nick, you might want to get a Mela here for moral support. This might get a little bit busy any moment now. Still telling us to go to 25. That's just mind blowing. So we should get pretty soon. We should get our handoff over to Mannheim Tower, if there is a tower there. But we should get a handoff at some point to something, I think. Oh yeah, this might get a little. It's going to get a little bumpy, folks. Buckle up.
On 237, please expedite your climb flight level 250.
No, thank you. Alright, so after that we should get another major reduction in altitude. I feel like we've managed this pretty well. So, Rick, if you're still there, any thoughts, any suggestions, any words of encouragement? Alright.
On 237, please expedite your climb flight level 250.
No, there's no sense in that. I'm sorry, but that just does not make any sense to me. I feel like we are way above where we should be, though. With 66 nautical miles to go, we are going to have to drop off a lot of altitude between WUR and Mannheim City. A lot of altitude, I feel like. And I kind of get the suspicion that our altimeter is not...
You are 77 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition.
I kind of...
Clear to Charlie
that does
Hotel
not...
Alpha.
No.
No,
the clouds are not leaving anytime soon, Nick. We're going to land in this...
Descend and maintain
That's what
5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition. Cleared to Charlie Hotel Alpha Dolomiti
I'm
8827.
hoping we get an altimeter update, because I think the weather's changed. Like, I think we're getting ready to fly into what looks like the beginnings of the storm system over Mannheim. Not like a severe thunderstorm or anything, but just a storm in general. It may get a little bit windy, but no, we're gonna land one way or the other. We're gonna land this thing. I can promise you that. Ooh, here we go into the clouds. Oh no! This is pretty cool though.
On 237, please expedite your climb flight level 250.
No, we're not doing the numpty thing today and listening to. Ooh, wow. Did I just see a
On
lightning?
237, you are 60 miles east. Maintain present heading and altitude. Expect localizer runway 27 approach via Keytech transition. Clear to Keytech. On 237, climb and maintain flight level 200. On
That doesn't seem
237,
right.
descend and maintain 6,000
There we go. Okay, that I can
Descend
live
and
with.
maintain 6,000 feet. Expect localizer runway 27 approach via Keytech transition. Clear
is
to
gonna
Keytech
be-
Frog 237.
All right, we're gonna make
On
this happen.
237, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
5,000.
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Frog 237.
Well, this is gonna be tough one, folks. I can assure you that this is going to be a bit We gotta drop off 6,000 feet, roughly. Oh, here we go, Mick. Here we go.
Lufthansa 1149er, you are 40 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS
we're
runway
getting
25
direction
left
from
approach via Charlie
Frankfurt.
Hotel Alpha transition. Clear to
Which
Charlie
isn't
Hotel
too
Alpha.
far from Mannheim, I think, when I looked at the
KLM
overhead map.
427 traffic is 3 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 370 generic. Report them in sight.
Puffy clouds,
Southwest
puffy
4636
clouds.
traffic is 2 o'clock 3 miles at flight level 350 generic.
I don't think we
Report them in
need the
sight.
anti-ice on. I will say we probably need to put the landing lights on. We probably need to put as many lights on as possible so that people can see us as we fly through the clouds.
Transition cleared to Charlie Hotel Alpha Lufthansa 1149er.
Alright,
KLM
we got this
427
under
traffic
control.
in sight.
We got this under control. But I do kind of feel like our altimeter is not correct for some reason. I could be wrong. I think we're going to be okay.
Lufthansa 361, you are 7 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition. Clear to Charlie Hotel Alpha. Descend and maintain 5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition.
Wow,
Clear to
look at
Charlie
those.
Hotel
That's
Alpha,
really
Lufthansa
dark under there.
361.
Wow.
Lufthansa 1149er, contact approach on 125.35.
Wow, look at that.
Good day.
That is some dark clouds right there. That is definitely some, looks like a rainstorm getting ready to happen.
Going to 125.35.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm on the edge of my seat now, even. All right, 45 nautical miles to our airport. Let me get a drink of water before my throat dries out here. Oh yeah, this is going to be beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, I kind of feel like our the weather has changed fairly significantly. I think that's why we went to 5,000 feet, because basically I think they wanted us to try to get below this cloud level, make it a little bit easier for lineup and all that. I'm guessing maybe. Let's see if we get any bump coming through here. Usually this is where I would expect the plane to kind of get a little unsettled. Because my experience has always been when I've been flying that as you go through the clouds, that's when there's some bit of choppy air kind of in that space. So yeah, we're doing good. We are doing good. Hello, Amello. Okay, there you go, Mick. Amella's here. You can hold Amella's hand as we come into this questionable looking weather. Amella, you're going to need to hold Mick's hand, I think. I think it's going to get very busy here as we line up for Mannheim. Well, it's just been a bit cloudy. We haven't seen any rain or anything, or even little pelts of water hitting the windshield or streaking off the side here. But maybe after we slow down a little bit more, we are fairly slow. We need to speed up just a smidge, I think. So yeah, we've got patches of, clouds, a little bit of blue sky here and there, but a lot of these look very dark, like there's a storm getting ready to happen, and I've not had an update on the altimeter for quite some time. Those clouds, though. Yeah, I know, Mick. We'll be fine. We'll be fine. I mean, it looks like if over here to the off the left wingtip there, that does look like it's raining. But we have these clouds that look like we would expect to see rain, and it's just kind of like they're just dark clouds. So the storm.
827 contact approach on 126.555. Good day.
The storm might be kind of brewing as it is. So it may have not developed into, they look like rain clouds. I mean, those are pretty dark clouds, not gonna lie. But the rain may still be developing in those clouds. Ooh, look at this. Ooh-wee. Oh boy. Oh, little bump. Little bit of
1153 or 54 miles southeast. Descend and maintain 5,000
autopilot's
feet. Expect
making
ILS
those minor
runway
corrections
25
here and
left approach
there.
via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition. Clear to Charlie Hotel Alpha.
Yeah, I would have expected some rain pelting us by now, but maybe not. It
Descend
may
and
still be
maintain
brewing.
5,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 25 left approach via Charlie Hotel Alpha transition. Cleared to Charlie Hotel Alpha Lufthansa 1153.
So let's see, make sure we got our what was I looking for? Oh, yeah, we need to check something. What was I going to check? Oh, yes, make sure all of our... We'll even throw the taxi lights on, even though...
Contact approach on 136.13. Good day.
You know me, and more lights the better. Especially in this weather.
136.13 Lufthansa 361.
It's like they kind of forgot about us. I guess because we got down to 5,000 feet, they're like, oh, he'll be fine. I've been ready since we took off. You've been here the old time, Nick, and you didn't say anything. Come on, you're killing me. I'm like, man, maybe I scared everybody off earlier or something happened. Nobody wanted to come in and see the second stream of the day. Oh, nobody get ready for me to hold your hand and hyperventilate. We got this.
On 237 contact approach on 129.355. Good day.
We're going to land this thing as
Going
smooth
to
as a baby's
129
bottom.
decimal 355 Frog 237. Approach Frog 237 5,000 feet.
Frog 237, approach altimeter
299.3. Aha!
I
I knew our altimeter had changed, or I knew it. Aha! I was correct.
Frog 237, climb and maintain 12,000 feet.
That doesn't make any sense.
Climb and maintain 12,000 feet, Frog 237.
No! Why would I add 7,000 feet to my where I'm at right now? There's nothing in the way that's that high that we have to go over it. Give me a break. No, we are getting ready to land. I am not pulling up to 12,000 feet when we are less than 20 nautical miles from our airport. No, thank you. I'm in the front garden. Oh, nice, Mick. Nice. Hopefully it's nice out there today. Not looking quite like this. Alright, I want to get some... Let's get the gear down. Let's get some flaps down. Just kind of start slowing this bad boy down a bit.
Frog 237, descend and maintain 5,000 feet.
I'm already at...
Descend and maintain 5,000 feet, Frog 237.
See, with that altimeter change, I think we... No, other way. This thing has gotten a little bit goofy on me now, for some reason. No, not that way. Oh, what in the bloody blue blazes? Let's go to 5,000 feet, knucklehead. This seems like a pretty nice little area here. Interesting. Oh yeah, look at this. We got some wind here. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Here we go. Look at that.
Frog 237, descend and maintain 2,800 feet.
Got it.
Descend and maintain 2,800 feet, Frog 237.
See, I wouldn't mind having a front garden. Well, if I had a house, having a front garden, but I wouldn't want to take care of it. That's the only thing. I'm not somebody who's got a green thumb. I couldn't be asked to take care of it.
Frog 237, you are 900 miles east of Mannheim.
All
Contact
right.
tower on 122 decimal flight when inbound on the approach.
So we're going to throw on the approach mode anyway.
Tower Frog
So the localizer should...
localizer runway 27 approach.
Ooh, wow, look at this. Look at this movement.
Altimeter 29.9er, 7 wind 179er at 15. Cleared localizer runway 27
Ooh,
approach.
15 knot winds.
Cleared
Yes.
localizer runway 27 approach, Frog 237.
Oh,
Frog
yes.
7 wind 179er at 15. Cleared to land runway 27.
Cleared to land runway 27.
Winds
Frog
from the
237.
south. at 15 knots. So we got a crosswind, it sounds like. Oh, this is going to be a doozy, folks. This is going to be a doozy. Now my vertical speed thing is acting up. Yeah, I'm not getting my usual glide slope stuff. I think we are going to have to fire the autopilot and we're going to have to land this thing ourselves. I don't, yeah, okay. I think that change in the barometric pressure basically screwed this up. Yep, look at that. We are way, way high right now. We are way high. Way higher than we need to be. Oh man, we're gonna die for the deck here. That's the second time that's happened where the altimeter, I think, has screwed up our approach.
500.
This is going to be really... Oh, crap. Ooh.
Frog 237 contact ground on 122.5.
That was not my best landing in the history of landings, but
Going
it'll
to
do.
122.5 Frog 237.
Alright, let's stop. Wow!
Ground Frog 237 taxi to parking.
Frog 237 taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Delta Alpha.
Taxiing
Yeah,
to
that's the
general
second
aviation
time that
parking
the
via
weather, I
taxiway
think the
Delta Alpha
altimeter
Frog
stuff
237.
kind of screwed it all up. To be honest. Well, welcome to Mannheim City. As we tear up the grass. Wow. That was crazy. But at least we didn't crash. That's the good thing. We got it on the ground. Barely. Yeah, that's the second time. So, lesson learned. We are not going to use live weather until there seems to be a correction with the altimeter readings, the barometric pressure. It was way off. We were like, I feel like we were at least a couple thousand feet way off of our approach. But the localizer never locked in, which it should have, even if we aren't using an ILS approach. I think that it's supposed to lock in the Yeah, I know, but I was worried that we were going to go off the end of the runway and it was going to end up in disaster. But yeah, that's the second time that the first time I experienced it was off stream the other day, and I thought, okay, maybe it was just a kind of an off, sort of experience. But yeah, I think there's a problem with air traffic control and what do you call it, the barometric pressures, getting the correct information in a timely manner. Especially as we were coming into approach and it said, oh, go to 12,000 feet. And then it was like, no, go 6,000. No, go 5,000. So yeah, I think with the weather enabled, I kind of feel like maybe there's a bit of a bug with that. So but we're on the ground, so that's okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop. It's like the throttle sticks. I don't know, it's because I've been playing so often that when I press down and hold the A button, it's sticking the throttle. Next time we put our foot out the door to slow us down. No, I don't want you to lose a foot, Nick. No, it's okay. We made it. That's the important part. We had to make some decisions. Now, I could have gone around, but it's okay. We made it, so. I don't know what this. It just like it speeds up on its own, like the throttle's stuck or something. Well, on behalf of the entire flight crew, myself and First Officer Clarence, we hope you enjoyed today's flight to Mannheim City. We know you have many choices when it comes to your commuter flying needs, and we thank you for choosing us. Welcome to Mannheim City. Wow, look at this kind of, they put us kind of out in the middle of nowhere here. We're like, oh, we don't want to see this. Get this plane hidden. Hide him, hide him. Alright, and real quick, we're going to look at our next flight out and around Germany, but we are not going to have live weather next time. We are going to just basically do some we will fly with the weather turned off for the interim. Kind of a weird parking spot back here. Let's get the lights off. What in the... Wow, okay. That's kind of weird. Let's turn the battery off. There we go. 59-minute flight. There we go. Almost 72 hours total flying time. All right, so from Mannheim on Monday, we're just going to kind of look ahead here a few days from now. Whew, let's see. Nope, it just rounded up 72 hours. Nice. Okay, so Mannheim, which is right there. So we are going to take off from runway 27. And we are going to go to See, there's not a lot. The interesting thing is there's not a lot of like small airports. Here we go. We could do Speyer. Probably come in from runway 34. That seems like a very quick flight. What about if we just came in on runway 16? Can't change the airport or the runway. Oops. Okay. Yeah, there's no ILS approach there. No, need a... Nope. That's kind of weird. Why would we go all the way out there? Huh. Okay, that may not work. Okay, we'll wrap this up here in just a moment, folks. Bear with me. I'm just trying to figure out where we could go. Yeah, there's not a lot of small airports in Germany, not like there are in the United States. Karlsruhe, I would think there would be an airport here at Karlsruhe. That might be an army airfield. Wow, I'm not getting... It's like the... That's a 12-minute flight. 19. Automatic approach. It's a very weird sort of... Oh, that's a grass airfield. That's why. Duh. Alright, what about... If we go to Munich, I think we have better luck there. That's a 52-minute flight approach. There should be an ILS approach. 08 Romeo. That's kind of a weird approach. That's definitely weird. Still weird. That seems even weirder. Okay, well, I guess that would have to do. That's about an hour flight. I think we could do that. So I think that's reasonable. And then we'll do that on Monday. I'll write this down before I get out of. And then what we're going to do is, okay, here's Heilbronn. Now there's a small grass airfield. If we land there, I'm going to have to be in a very small plane. But if I take off from here, I'm not sure what this airport this is. We can fly down. Matter of fact, that's perfect. We'll fly from here down across Neckarsalm and then over into Heilbronn, the city here. Matter of fact, I used to go to this park right here. The swimming pool right there. I used to go to this park right there. And there's a bike trail all along the Neckar River. You can ride for quite a long time. But anyway, we'll talk about that on Monday. So, yeah, we're going to do that on Monday after we land there in Munich. And I'll find a nice small plane to take off. What we may end up doing is Degmarn Airfield. What we could do is we could take off and then kind of cruise around Heilbronn and Neckarsalm, and then go back to that airfield and request landing. Matter of fact, that's what we'll do. We'll do it in the Cessna 152, since we won't use any kind of autopilot or whatever. So, anyway, that's for sure going to be it. Everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. And, yeah. So, yeah, so we're going to talk about, I was stationed there in Heilbronn. Most of you know that by now, who know me. Where did it go? There's kids again. Where? Oh, there it is. So, yeah, we're going to fly. We're going to take off from there, fly down. We'll talk a little bit about Neckarsalm and all that. And then we will, from there, we'll cruise down around Heilbronn, come down to the southern tip of the city, come back around, show you exactly where. Let me make sure I get it. There it is. There's the housing area of the former housing area for U.S. soldiers that were stationed here in Heilbronn. This is these three buildings here, real quick, I'll show you, are the last remaining buildings from when this was an army post. Everything else is gone. There's nothing other than this kind of a circle area here. This was the main road, although it was all like cobblestone for most of it. Yeah, it's all gone. But anyway, we'll talk more about that on Monday. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. I will see you tomorrow. Long Island Railroad first, then New York, flying around New York after that. Okay? Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace. Live